You guys want to move on to some news?
Yeah.
What breaking headlines do we have coming at us?
Something I thought was really cool. They announced a game called UFO 50, and it's kind of, I don't know if it's almost like a collection of Game Jam games, but that were completed. All of them are like 8-bit retro style games, and some of them are made by some, like creator of Spelunky. Did you guys play that game?
I don't think I've played it. I've watched a lot of video on it though.
I don't think I've played it.
Sure. A couple other indie developers, and they kind of all got together and made all these games, but man, it just kind of runs the gamut of genres of NES games.
So what is this coming to then?
I think right now it's just PC,
Sure.
but I'm kind of interested in checking that out. I mean, the retro style thing has been pretty overdone, I would say, but if you make 50 of them that are pretty much bite-sized all in one package, I think that's kind of ideal to just kind of go through them and find which ones you kind of like to play with.
So they just kind of went around the industry and like anyone who was interested jumped on board and built a game for this thing?
Yeah, it must be.
Huh. It's interesting. And it's not UFO, it's not that like crappy publisher from like the Wii days or whatever.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, good.
If it was, I can't wait till it's 99 cents.
Yeah, if it was a collection of 50 of their god-awful published games, I would just run away.
Break out the Wiimotes again.
Oh yeah, the trusty Wiimotes.
But yeah, other than that, beyond that, so this Unsung Story Kickstarter has been quite an ordeal. I'm glad I didn't put any money into that because I almost did. And that was,
So I haven't heard anything
what,
about this. What is this a game they were looking to crowdfund?
Yep. They put it up 3 years ago.
Okay.
And then they raised like 660,000
Nice.
for it's basically a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy Tactics, which is one of my favorite games. And they basically had the same guy that came up with that game, kind of that world and everything, on board to make this game. And over the last like probably year and a half, they've just not been delivering. They haven't been even like contacting the people that back them, kind of lying to their face. And earlier this week, all the backers got an email saying that, hey, yeah, we're not making this game anymore. But the good news is this other company is taking over. So you could imagine everybody was super pissed off.
Right.
Then the new developer called, I think, Little Orbit. You know Little Orbit, right?
It sounds familiar, but I can't. Link
Creators
them to
of
anything.
Barbie and Kung Fu Panda video games.
Well, they seem like they're well fucking set up to handle a deep, RPG strategy tactics game. It's not like you need a bunch of knowledge on building a quality title for something like that.
Oh, exactly. And, obviously so what happened is all the backers then got an email from this Little Orbit company saying that they're taking over development and they're starting from scratch. So the guy, everything before it is just completely gone. The 660,000 everybody put money into is essentially done. I mean, it's not even
So are they
present.
going to get the games? Like if you backed it to get the full game at release?
That's what they say. They're still going to get the game. Yeah.
Huh. So basically they took like $575,000 and then paid this rinky-dink developer a pittance to make this shit game that everyone's going to end up with, assuming it ever comes out.
After 3 years, yeah.
Right.
And yeah,
Oh my
who knows
God.
how long it's going to take because these guys just starting now.
Between this and like the whole debacle with Mighty Number 9, like people are just not going to crowdfund stuff anymore. I mean, you can't do this to people.
Not on names alone anymore. I mean that one that was Parappa the Rapper inspired. The guys that did Parappa, like that failed miserably. Like,
Yeah, that didn't even get close.
could not even get off the ground. Right, and the promise was like if you showed enough support in these big numbers, then all these other companies would put their money behind it as well. But I don't think that happens. It obviously didn't in this case either, you know?
Right. Well, there's always Shark Tank.
Wasn't there like only 1,500 or 1,700 people too for that one? The Unsung Story or whatever?
Really? Is that low, huh?
Because I remember hearing about it back a few years ago. I thought it was kind of a low amount, so it would have been high dollars between some of these people too.
Yeah. Well, you know, those RPG guys like that. I mean, I don't know if there's some people that Final Fantasy Tactics is their favorite game of all time. Like, and I don't know if I would be up there with that crowd, but when you have the guy saying that, yeah, he's going to basically make another one of those when Square has kind of ignored it.
Yeah.
They're going to put any amount of money that they're going to put their bank account on it, you know?
Right.
Well, that's the type of game too, where it's very much gameplay based, like which characters you have in it or the branding. I mean, that doesn't matter. You can make the core game virtually the same.
Right.
So, like, it seems like the perfect type of game to pick up and crowdfund for. But yeah, if people can't stick to what they promise, it's a problem.
Yeah, it had to been just bad management. I don't know.
So do you think now they're going to make it and they're going to put like Barbie and like Kung Fu Panda characters in there? It's like a tactic. It's Barbie versus Kung Fu Panda, the tactics game.
Yeah, licensed games tactics.
Yes. That actually could be pretty badass if it was developed by someone who knew how to develop games.
Yeah. I mean, these tactic games are not that hard either. I can't imagine, you know? Some of the systems are complex, but once you have it down,
getting the systems and just so the thing that I think like takes some skill and like patience, like is you need it's like all the detail, you know, all the stats behind each character and like the counters, like the different weapon. I mean, that stuff requires some skill to balance. I just can't see like a publisher or a developer like that being able to pull that off effectively.
Right. It's more developing in spreadsheets.
Right, yeah. I mean, the gameplay will probably work. It'll just be super shallow.
Yep, exactly.